Hi, I'm Simon Boyle, the chef founder of Brigade and the Beyond Food Foundation. Today I'm going to show you how to cook my signature dish, Crackling Mackerel, which is all the way from Cornwall. First of all though, the most important thing a chef can use is its knives. So all trainee chefs need to keep their knives sharp. And the only way to really do that is before using them each time, just run the knife through the steel, holding your steel up at a 45-degree angle, and then just running the knife up and down like that. If you do that each time you use it, it's going to remain sharp. So now we're going to fillet the mackerel, and we've got this beautiful mackerel from Cornwall. I know it's fresh because the eyes are nice and clear, the flesh is quite firm to touch. I'm just going to lift up the fin, turn my knife around, which is nice and sharp, and follow the bone all the way down. And it's really as simple as that. I've got a nice fillet. Same on the other side, just turn it over. And again, just follow the bone. Now I need to trim the fillet up. So first of all, I'm just going to take the bones off the side, trim the side of the flesh, and then just turn the fillet around so it's pointing towards me. And from the head side to about halfway down the fillet, you've got some little tiny bones. So just with your fingers, get them to be sticking up so you can see where they are. And cutting a V, not all the way through to the skin, we actually cut those bones out, and it's by far the easiest way to take them out. And I've now got a beautiful fresh fillet. Now this is very sharp, and I just want to slit the skin ever so slightly, and what that does is when I'm going to cook the fish, it'll stop all of the skin curling up. The fillet's ready for cooking. Now we're going to make the mackerel dressing. This is not just any old dressing. In fact, this dressing, it becomes part of the whole dish. First of all, we're going to cut the shallot in half, and I'm going to use a little paring knife just to cut along where the lines of the shallot are. And then using this chopping knife, which has got a heel and a slide and a rounded blade, we can just rock it, and that's going to get us the nice finely chopped shallots that we need. We don't want them too big because it'll be too strong. And shallots are really bitey, so they're really a good thing to put in a dressing, and a little bit sweeter than, say, an onion. So we put the shallots in a bowl. Next we're going to pomegranate. I've cut it in half. I'm just going to bang the pomegranate, and the seeds will just fall out. Simple little tip there for those people that don't know. Next, a little bit of chili. So again, I'm just going to slice the chili in half, take away the seeds. I don't want it really, really hot. That's not the point. It's just to give it a nice little bit of a bite, a little bit of heat, but not too much that it's unpalatable for everybody that's eating it. Next is the pepper. Cutting all the way around. Trim this a little bit further and take out that middle part. Skin side up, and then finally chop it. Next up, some baby capers. And again, baby capers just add this beautiful sharpness to it, and it'll just explode in your mouth. Next, we're going to add some Manuka honey. This is going to add a real richness and a sweetness to the dressing, which is really important because we need that sweet and sour balance. And a little bit of mustard, and this is a beautiful grain mustard. Pepper, a little bit of sea salt, and I'm just going to start to mix that in. Then I'm going to add the olive oil. Really good extra virgin olive oil. So you've got this really beautiful, thick, glossy, colourful dressing, which is all garnish and a little bit of dressing rather than lots of dressing and very little garnish. Now, of course, we must taste it. It's good. Now I'm going to add some fresh mint. Finely chop. Always making sure you've got a sharp knife is really important, otherwise you just bruise the herbs. Stir. Now we can cook the fish. Most chefs will cook mackerel very quickly in a very hot pan. I'm actually going to cook it in a slow pan and nice and cool. So by laying it into a really good non-stick pan with quite a heavy base, straight cold, will allow the fish to, number one, cook more gently, but secondly, as the heat rises through the pan, the oil in the skin of the fish will just be released and render down, thus getting it much more crispier. A little bit of salt on the flesh part just to give it a little season, and some pepper. And you'll see the heat rising through the fish, and it will start to become a pale pink colour. I'd rather just cook it all on one side through the skin and then just flip it over for the last few seconds to make sure I get the most amount of crispiness through the skin. So now I can turn it over, and look at the colour of that fish. I mean, it's really beautiful. And because it's not quite cooked all the way through yet, it doesn't break when I turn it over, and I can just finish it. And we don't want it to be thoroughly cooked all the way through, because fish is actually nice to slightly underdone. And now we're going to plate the mackerel dish. I've got some beautiful chicory leaves here, which I'm just going to drizzle with a little bit of dressing, place them on the plate like so. A little bit of potato salad and beautiful mackerel. And then just the dressing around. Now we don't want to dress the fish because it will make the crisp skin soft, and that is crackling mackerel from Cornwall with a beautiful pomegranate and Manuka honey dressing.